first things first, I want to show you different notes and their note values. Pretty simple stuff. So I'm going to start off at the top. This right here is a whole note. A whole note, W-H-O-L-E, is worth 4 beats. Okay? Break these down into 2 equal parts. We're going to have 2 of these. This is called a half note. It's worth 2 beats. Alright? So this is worth 4. Each one of these is worth 2. Break these down into 2 equal parts. It's going to be kind of rough. Alright, and now we have quarter notes. And each one of these is worth 1. And break these down into 2 equal parts. Alright, and now at the bottom, these are called eighth notes at the bottom, and each eighth note is worth 1/2 of a beat. Now, one thing that you need to remember when it comes to music is each one of these round parts of the note, which is called a note head, the round parts of the note head, each one of those indicates that there's going to be some kind of a sound. And how it looks tells you how long that sound is going to last. So this one, if I had a steady beat of something like this, it would be 1. You hold for 4 beats. These are 2 beats. 1, 1. These right here are worth 1 beat apiece. 1, 1, 1, 1. And these are all worth 1/2 of a beat, so they go a little bit quicker. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and. Now, I'm going to erase this and show you something very quickly. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is I've kind of done a simple staff. This isn't a staff, this is what I'm just using for rhythm. But this right here, these 2 numbers, it kind of looks like a fraction. That is called a time signature, and that tells you how many beats are going to be in each one of these spaces in between the lines. The spaces in between the lines here are called a measure. Alright? So the top number of the time signature tells me there's going to be 4 beats per measure, and the bottom number tells me of what kind of a note. So for right now, I'll go deeper into this later, but for right now, just know there are 4 quarter notes per measure. So another way to write this would be 4 1/4 note. This is how you see it in elementary school. There are 4 quarter notes per measure. Alright? So, in here, this is what you feel when you're listening to music and you're bobbing your head. You usually feel that steady beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I feel that beat, I'm just going to do this real quick. So now I have 4 quarter notes here. Now, we know that there are 4 beats that are represented in here. What happens, I want to number these with to show how I'm using my beats. So I'm going to use numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because each one of these notes makes 1 sound on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? If I do this, we have half notes because these are not filled in. And these half notes you hold for 2 beats. So if I were to do that, I would say 1, and then I would say 3. And what I like to do, this isn't like a set in stone way of doing things, but this is just my method. I like to draw a line indicating that the note is sustained. So this little line is actually beat 2, and this one is beat 4. You don't say anything on those. Nothing to indicate that you're doing anything extra. So if I was going to do this, the difference here would be 1, 3. So here's a steady beat again, and I'm going to do 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3. Okay, does that make sense? So right here, I'm holding this for 2 beats, and then I get to the next one. Hold it for 2 beats. All right? And then this one right here, whole note. We already said that's worth 4 beats. So if I were going to say this one, I would just do a 1 and hold it out for all 4 beats. Because remember, because of this, it's telling me that there are only 4 beats inside of each measure. And within those, you have to make sure that whatever you put in adds up to 4. All right? So this one, I would say the rhythm this way. 1, because 2, 3, and 4 are happening, but this is 1 sound over 4 beats. This is 1 sound over 2 beats, and this is 1 sound over 1 beat. And we have one more that we need to talk about. Alright, so now I have my 8th notes. You see they start big and it gets smaller. That's just me writing. But anyways, these you would say a little bit quicker. So each one of these is worth 1/2 of a beat. Even though you see 8 notes are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they still only take up that 4 beats, because this is 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, 1/2 and 1/2. And we all know, adding fractions, the numerator has to be the same. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 over 2. And I reduce that. That would be 2 goes into 2 1 time. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 4 over 1 equals 4. So this adds up to 4. All right? Now, if I wanted to say this, and the way we say this with numbers is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because there are 2 sounds over 1 beat. So the first half of the beat, you say the number. So the first one of these, I'm just going to put a number on each one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Because you see there are 4 pairs of 8th notes, 1 over each beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right? So here's my steady beat again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how that goes. So I'm going to make a rhythm using all the notes that we just used. This is what I want you to imagine when you're trying to number a rhythm. Up here, there are 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 beats in every single one of these, but I want to see how I'm using the 4 beats, okay? So on beat 1, starting this off, we start with the quarter note, okay? So that means it's going to start with 1. Beat 1 is taken care of. All right, now we're on beat 2, and we have a half note. A half note is worth 2 beats. So we have a 2, and I put that dash there to let me know that I held it for a little bit longer. So beat 2 is taken care of. Beat 3 is taken care of. So now we're left with beat 4. 4 is here, and because it's a pair of 8th notes, 4 is what we say on the beginning of the beat, and then we say and on the second half of the beat, okay? Let's go to the next one. This one's easy. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our 4 beats. Beat 1, you stay 1. A whole note is taking up that entire measure because there's only 4 beats there. So I'm just going to draw a dash there. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. 2, 3, 4. Again, it always starts with 1. It's a pair of eighth notes, so this is 1 and beat 1 is done. We're on beat 2. Beat 2 is done. Beat 3, it's a pair of eighth notes, so that's 3 and then 4. So now I have my entire rhythm written out, alrighty? So if I were to do this, it goes something like this. Steady beat. 1, 2, 4, and 1. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay? So that is how you do these rhythms. So our assignment this week, we're going to start with Sight Reading Factory. And for my 6th graders who have never done this before, you will just do rhythm. And there's going to be 1 assignment for rhythm. For my 7th and 8th graders who have done this before, depending on what class period you're in, we're going to determine the difficulty. So my beginner classes, you'll have 2 assignments. 1 is going to be rhythm, and 1 is going to be melody. For my varsity, for varsity and JV classes, for my JV classes, you are also going to have 1 rhythm and 1 melody to do on Sight Reading Factory, but it's going to be a higher level. You're going to do level 2. And for varsity, same thing, 1 and 1, rhythm, melody, but yours is going to be level 3. All right, so I need everyone to do your best. If you have any questions, let me know. I will do what I can to help. All right, have a good one. Stay safe.